part two. Right, guys, welcome back. Guys, welcome back for part two. We're carrying on where we left off with Matt Tofton. So where were we? So talking about hypertrophy versus hypertrophy.
Yeah, obviously, I was just making that point about if people's theories don't match up with what they're actually doing in terms of people lifting a lot of weight, which is fine, it's strong, but I feel like they're doing a lot of things to lift that weight.
Yeah.
But I could take those guys and put them to a session and their final work set would be nowhere near that. Like I see people lifting this, like they're posting videos on Instagram, they're lifting the same amount of weight as top pros that look like top pros.
Yeah.
And again, everyone's strength is individual, and I'm not comparing strength to strength. But like I say, if you have no chest, but you're pressing on a machine, I know, but 100 kilos a side, to get a chest, you're going to have to be doing 200 a side. Like the stress that's going to put through your body, and I just think there's people get so lost in, oh yeah, I need to do this, I need to do that, but they're not actually looking at what matters, and it's what they look like. This is a sport that is about aesthetic and about how you look. And like, oh well, I mean, I've been there. I've blindly chased of thinking that as long as I get stronger, I will get bigger. But I think it doesn't always work like that. We've seen people do crazy strong things, and they're not very big.
Like you look at an Olympic lifter, right, in the Olympic finals, they have weight classes for a reason. And the fucking 50 kilo class, they're way stronger than probably me and Jermaine put together.
Yeah.
And they're 30 pounds less than us, and we're not even big.
That's I've never classed myself as somebody that's very strong. Like even now, I think I don't really free bar bench or anything, but if you ask me to do 3 plates aside, I don't think I'd even want to have a go at it. Like I might, Like, I just it's not something I would even be doing. But I see guys doing like, oh, they'll just put 4 plates on it, or like 3 plates side, it's a fucking piece of piss. And I thought, wow, that's incredible. It's a crazy strength feat. But at the same time, comparing physiques and how we look, like, doesn't really matter how. And I know, again, it's individual, and sometimes it's not how strong you are. It can be the changes in strength. And I'm not denying that you have to get stronger. But it will just happen. Like, it's not something you need to actually actively chase. Like, it will occur. If you're training properly and the muscle grows, people always say that a bigger muscle is not necessarily a stronger muscle. True when comparing 2 separate people.
Yeah.
But a bigger muscle on the same individual will 100% be a stronger muscle, because there is more muscle fiber, there's more
activation that can occur. Yeah.
So there's no way, like, you take the same person and give them bigger muscles, they will be a stronger human. So just get big.
Yeah.
I know it's easy to say, but don't think that you have to be. You could lift the same weight for ages, and it just be. And we are getting that way. I think there's a lot of people now that are focusing on. A few people are coming away from you have to just keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger, because there's no way that your body will just keep putting those, like, just sometimes I even think that. I mean, I think I read it years ago, and it was something that always sort of stayed with me. And it was Milos Sarcev comment, and he said when he used to train with his training partners, they used to like have little competitions within a session.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that if you can teach yourself how to do it, it will be a hack and a fast track to how to build muscle. And they used to get onto a bar that they could maybe do, say if it was a bench press, it was around their 10 rep max. And without changing the tempo of the lift as such, they used to challenge each other to who could fail the quickest. Not who could do the most reps or who could lift the most reps. It was who can fail the quickest without doing, obviously, or who could fail within, well, you could say the quickest if you timed it, but who could fail in as less reps without, like, obviously doing like 30-second eccentric, still doing the name. And if you're in a set and you're thinking, right, fail, you will learn to contract the muscle so hard that you will take a weight that you could probably rep out for 10 and you could probably fail at 5 or 6. And having the ability to be able to do that, I think, is what needs to be happening in every lift. The same way, if you get on a preacher machine, contract your bicep, pretend that machine's not even there, and just learn to squeeze your bicep. And then learn to squeeze your bicep whilst then pulling a handle, as opposed to thinking, I've got to move this handle. People think that they can contract weight, they can contract muscle, but a lot of people can't. I see people pose like they can't do it.
Yeah.
And like Ben Pakulski says, if you cannot contract a muscle without any weight in your hand, how are you meant to do it with weight in your hand? Like I can, like, everyone can sort of, like, you know, do like pec bounce and things like that. And that's what you should be doing at the start of, when that bar comes down and hits your chest, that should be the first thing that you're doing. Not pushing the bar, it should be contract your chest.
Well, that is the way Milos did his 99 Olympia prep, wasn't it? He just, according to the Road to Olympia video, he just focused on contraction. Yes, there was loading. Yes, there was weight. But if you go back and watch that video prior to the year before, he's probably using 60 to 70% of his max, where every rep looks identical. Every rep looks like a pec contraction. Every rep looks like a row and a lat contraction. That's all he's focusing on, is just muscular fatigue and muscular contraction, rather than moving the weight, moving the load. And he looks better and he's bigger for it as well.
Exactly. And like I say, if contracting first and really initiating that target muscle, and you still fail at 10 reps, that's fucking heavy. But like I said earlier, it's circumstantial. Yes, that might not be the 10 reps you could do if you just bang shit out, but the goal isn't to lift a certain amount of weight or do a certain amount of reps. The goal is stimulate muscle growth. And when people throw all these words around, like, be accurate and, like, you know, that kind of shit, that's what they mean.
Yeah.
Like, I can, and it's very difficult. I'm very good at picking up on training partners and certain things, but you could take 2 identical sets and 2 totally different things can be happening.
Yeah.
It's you can't see, like, internal contraction. Sometimes you can see, like, you can see the muscles fire, like, on a chest, you can sort of see it fire. And you're right, yeah, they're on it. Like, they know. But so it's when you see some people, you know, that are sort of equally strong. Or, you know, when you get a strong guy and he goes to the gym with his mate and his mate's weak. But one guy knows how to build muscle and contract weight.
Yeah.
Or contract muscle. And he goes and does an exercise and his mate comes and beats him and he thinks, oh, I'm stronger than you. And it's like, no, you went through the motions and you did more reps with the same amount of weight as I did. But what's happened in the muscle is totally different. One guy has stimulated muscle growth. The other guy just moved and made it look like, oh, I outperformed you. And I think if the next time people get under a bar, I think even like with a squat, from the bottom of that thing, it should be, right, squeeze the quads. Then let the quads extend the knee, not get up. And when people are handling weights that are too heavy, that thought process goes out the window. Because it will, because it's natural, because you think, shit, right? It's fear. You don't have that control. And some people will start the set with the control and then lose it because they know, oh shit, I'm not going to get my 10. But if you actually have that active mindset of, right, let's see how fewer reps I can actually do with this. Like, challenge yourself to fail as quickly as possible. And then just do it again and do it again. And try a full training session where you actually just think the goal in every set is fail quick.
do you think then that one of the things that people should focus on more in training than necessarily, trying to beat your numbers, etc., which we've already talked about? Do you think that people should always have it in their head that failing is a positive, always? Like there's nothing bad can necessarily come from reaching failure.
It depends. I mean, I think go to fail. Like there's, as long as it's let's say like positive failure or concentric failure. I think you're going to start. You open yourself up to injury, like as you go beyond. And I think you also open yourself up to a lot of, if you're going beyond failure, that's when the central nervous system can take a hit as well. So that's why if you're doing people that do like too many force reps or too many, which again is why a lot of people will cut down volume training. Like when Dorian used to do like his lower volume, it was because he would take pretty much all of his sets. There would be extended sets, extended like through forced reps and negative, which do create a lot of central nervous system damage, I think. But I think going to, why not go to failure? That's what I say. Whether the science, I believe that, like I say, I do believe in that theory of effective reps. So your last 5 might be effective, but you're there anyway. Do the fucking last one. Like, why miss out on that one because you go, I'm just staying shut? Because I think going to failure, just like I think everyone should learn to train alone and go to failure. Like, and then that's when I think you get the best sort of blend. Like, I watched the Jay Cutler thing. Jay Cutler said, I never trained to failure. And that's because, again, it's the definition of what failure is. I think he did train to failure. I think he went to his last, the amount of times, obviously, like, he's a squeeze, but he racks the bar because he knows if he comes back down, he's going to get crushed. The same way as I used the squat thing earlier. Know that that's if you don't rack it this time, you're getting crushed. To me, that's failure. Obviously, you've still got probably a good negative in there. You could probably get a half rep. And if you had a training partner, you get that spotted rep and you're in. But I think you need to be going to at least that last good rep before you either your form goes to shit, or I think like, and like I say, when people say, "Oh, stay away from failure," like fucking why? You just wasting. If there's a rep you can get it.
Yeah,
like
so you reach a technical failure as opposed to all-out shit form.
I think technical failures are very, and obviously that's very different because, like talking about, some people just have very technical. Some people's form will break down, I think, a long time before their muscles actually do give it. But that's an experience thing. Like you find any pro bodybuilder, like every fucking rep just looks identical. Like how many times have you seen someone go, "Oh, you look like you had loads left," and you go, "Trust me, I had none left."
Yeah.
Because they just know, but everything just looks the same.
Yeah.
Whereas some people start shaking and everything just gets shit and things start to break down. But I think that's more like a motor programming type thing. People are just not used to certain movements. Excuse me. But I think, like that, why not go to failure? It doesn't make any sense to me. Not every set. But I think at some point, taking something either all the way or beyond failure, like I said, I take every exercise there once. I'll do 3 work sets. 2 of them will be taken to positive, fair, like last good rep, and then the last one you'll get.
All right, guys. Just a quick update for the audience as well. The recording cut off for a second there. I'm now recording onto the cloud so we can carry on recording. So if there was a little cut out in terms of, what the conversation or anything, and you feel a bit lost, that's why. It was only
bullshit anyway.
All right then. Yeah. So Do we want to get into another topic? Right.
Depends how much time Matt's got.
Yeah,
How much time to go, Matt?
Yeah, crack on, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So topics, have you got another one, Joe?
Yeah, I had 3. Obviously, I sent you those over, and we chose to discuss this one. Obviously, they're all work in conjunction with each other theoretically. So we've got. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Right. So we've just discussed training intensity. I think we've pretty much buried that now. So, are you in prep right now, Matt, or not?
It's difficult. I am sort of dieting and trying to, but with anything, I'm probably 4 months away from anything that could possibly happen at least. So
yeah.
So you're just coming off the back of an off season. So one of the topics was having a successful off season, and which you've clearly done over the past 2 or 3 / growth phase strategies. And I've had that request from a few people because obviously with all this shit that's been going on, you had people prepping for shows. They've been cancelled. So people want to know, how do you come out of that position if you're not with a coach or if you don't have that support unit around you because you're isolated now? What are some basic pointers to go from one extreme to having a successful off season, maybe to compete next year or in the future at some point?
Well, what I've been doing with either people that have come to me or a lot of my guys, like I said earlier, in terms of the things that are available to build muscle growth now, I don't think should be anybody's goal unless you have access to a gym.
Yeah.
So I just think people need to, one, just get it out of their head that they're going to build muscle and use this period to put yourself in the best situation so that day one, when gym's open and it's time to go, let the leash off,
yep,
you're in the best position to build muscle. We all know that you're in an amazing position to build muscle coming off the back of a show. Like, you just are. But you're also tired.
Yeah.
So I think if you can use this period now, if you're already lean, stay lean. Just either manipulate your diet, but just try and hold where you are if you're lean. And then maybe if things obviously open up, you can actually then push deeper into a dieting phase to almost set up a rebound. The only difference is you're going to be well rested. You're going to be able to go. Whereas coming off the back of a show, you're not.
No, you're fucked.
Yeah, pretty much. So you've always got to be a little bit careful. So I think if you're looking for, like, sort of, a lot of people are just going to toss this period off, and they'll get to the end of it and say, right, now I want to grow. And it's like, well, you've sort of just wasted 2 months, and over the space of 2 months, just got steadily fatter.
Yeah.
And now you're not in a very good position to actually grow. So if you do want to stay accountable and disciplined, the best thing possible is to stay in as good shape as possible. Maintain, stay active, obviously do your bands and whatever, do as much as you can to sort of maintain muscle. And I think, again, the thing about home training, if you just keep your rest times low between sets, you can still bring about failure. There's still loads of ways that you can still, I mean, even press up. People are like, you try to do 3 sets of max press ups for like 60 seconds rest, it will fuck you up.
Difficult.
Yeah.
But yesterday, I've been using just a bar, like a normal bar, and loading that up and doing like squats. Of course, my body, because I like barbell squats, is used to the movement pattern. It's used to that movement pattern. So failure takes a while. So yeah. I decided, you know what? Let me put some plates in my rucksack, strap it to my back, and let's go ass to grass. Like 4 or 5 second eccentrics. I was fucked after 2 sets. I got to 15 reps on both and completely reached failure and collapsed on the floor. I was fucked. And they're still sore now. So I think a change in stimulus or the way you've particularly trained that body part or whatever, it's gonna cause that adaptation to stress, like we discussed earlier.
Yeah, like I say, and that's what happens with a lot of things in terms of lift. Like when people put that initial big strength game on, a lot of it is just efficiency of movement patterns, firing patterns. Like it's not a strength game.
No,
you're
getting better at moving the. Yeah,
you became more efficient. So if you can we actually don't really want to be. If you want to build more muscle, you want to be as inefficient as possible. So, like you say, just change somewhere that your body's not used to, then you're actually literally relying on your quads. But I think as long as you're taking muscle to failure and obviously promoting and stimulating protein synthesis, you can hold your tissue.
Yeah.
And just don't get worried that you will, if you're on drugs that are taking your time off, use it as a break. A break will serve everyone good. Like, and there's no point in staying on a heavy cycle when you're not training that. Like, so even if it was forced to think now, it's a great opportunity just to either, if you want a PCT, do that, or at least drop down to a nice, like, natural cruising dose.
Yeah. And
just literally set up a good growth phase for when you come off the back of this. And then the leaner you can go into that, the better. And then it's just obviously about maintaining that off season for as long as possible. Yeah. Some people just eat too much food straight away and almost just fuck it. But again, I mean, I've been guilty of it. I mean, even this year, I ended up getting very heavy. I think you can do it. There's only so much muscle you can build. Like there is. There's a limit. And as long as you're eating to support that.
Yeah.
And to eat to support that probably doesn't need a lot. Like maybe 300 extra calories. Like if you have 300 calories left over, like maybe in your obviously aim a bit higher just to fully make sure you're nailing everything. But it will be sufficient to build muscle. You don't need to be putting actually a lot of scale weight on. Yeah. Like if you think an amazing year for a bodybuilder is probably 10 pounds, like of stage weight.
Yeah.
So 0.8 pound of muscle a month. Like people want 5 pound a week on the scales.
Yeah.
But if you could just limit it to just aim for 1 pound a week. Even then, at least like 3/4 of that's still not muscle.
Yeah.
Probably. Like yeah.
So aside from like the obviously using intensity techniques right now, what do you think the training strategy is going to be like for people when they actually do get back in the gym? Because obviously, I think a lot of people are going to treat it as a bit of a rebound in a lot of ways, as a big opportunity to grow out of it, almost as if they've come out of the show, obviously without the downsides necessarily of, a post-show tightness, weakness, etc.
For certain individuals as well, it's going to be like restarting completely because you've had a while off. It depends how long you've been training as well. If you've been training solid for 5 years, this rest period has probably done you the fucking world of good as well.
Yeah, I think there will definitely be some positives to come back out of it. But in terms of my opinion, actual training should be the same year round, no matter what. So coming out of it, as long as you train properly before, just go back to doing what you were doing.
Okay.
But I'll say that, but I can, like, if it's me and if I'm doing logbooks and changing numbers, I'm not going back into the gym with that in mind. Like, if you've been out for 3 months and you built up to, like, you've seen if you've done like stuff like that, when you've switched the lift out and switched it back in 4 weeks later, like you drop back down again. One, because it's that efficiency and that use. It's not always strength. I think you will always drop back down to your actual strength abilities that your muscle can do. Like that's what you will do. And then you get a little bit efficient and stuff like that. So if you're gonna have 4 months off and then go back going, I'm gonna beat a PB today, like, there'll be people that want to smash a PB on day one, and they will just they'll just fuck themselves up.
Yeah.
But also, don't go into the gym day one or a week in and just think that's it. Your life's absolutely ruined when you don't get anywhere near things you were doing before.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will do. I think a lot of people they'll be taking a mental hit now, and then the leash will be off, and they'll go back in the gym, and it'll feel like they've been hit in the face with a brick wall, because they probably won't be at a performance level anywhere near where they were.
But they were prior. But then you have to remind yourself that it took you 6 months to fucking build up to moving that way and using that way efficiently, whereas you got to build up to it again.
Like I've spoken to a lot of people during this, and I think I'm hoping that things will change, because like the whole thing about the Milos Sarcev story, people are having to do that. People have got 10 kilo dumbbells, and they're having to make 10 kilo dumbbells feel like 30s. So this is the time to learn how to contract, because you don't have access to a shit ton of weight. So this is where you can actually learn to connect. And when you get back into the gym, use the new skills that you have learned. Don't be like, oh, there's the hack squat that I can do 11 plates a side on, so I'm going back on that, and literally throw everything out the window. Like right now, there's still a lot you can be learning about your body, because people are having effective workouts and they're fucked. And they're having to do something different. And they're probably realizing that actually there are a lot of training methods out there. The one thing that it comes down to is sort of intensity, in terms of actually you're still going to need to doing something for like when we're talking about effective reps or whatever. If you have to do 50 body weight squats to fail, like 5 reps out of 50, like it's fucking pointless. It's like, you know what I mean? The volume you're having to do to build up the effective reps is going to be nowhere near what you could manage in a gym. Which is why it's very difficult to do it at home. But hopefully people have actually learned something about their body and about how to actually contract and continue on, and don't just get the ego back when they go in the gym. Because I know a big chunk can't wait just to go in and throw shit about. And if they have actually learned, it will go out the window. So that'd be one of the things. If you have actually learned how to like contract the muscle during a lift, keep doing it, and just go back into the gym and just start at set 1, warm up weight, and literally take every set as it comes. Don't have an actual plan of where you should just work forward. Too many people work backwards. This is my work weight, right? What are my warm-ups? Well, no, just start on the first weight and just see what you get to. And then go to the next exercise and do the same.
I think when the gym's open, I think I'm honestly just going to start a whole new logbook, because I don't think it makes sense for me to even look at those old numbers necessarily, other than the fact that I can say to myself, okay, this is a goal to aim towards in the long term. Because in reality, like you said, there's no way I'm going to go in the gym and get under a 500 kg leg press. You know, it's just not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to hit those same reps with that same executions before. So I feel like it almost makes sense to, like you say, treat it like a reset in a sense, just in terms of the logbook as well, if you are someone who logs their lifts.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it should just be literally just start from scratch and just go. I think it's just about in a minute making the best of a bad situation. If people just
have you had any of your clients or anything? Have you started to like encourage people to use occlusion training or anything like that? Or
I haven't told any clients. I've spoken to people about it. But I mean, a lot of my clients are general population people that at the end of the day, their goal is fat loss, and that's a very easy goal right now. Like, it's mainly obviously just managing diet and managing activity. It's been a lot of, we've gone back to the 90s with circuit training. Like, it just a lot of but people that obviously most of the guys that are competitive have got access to a gym, so not a lot's changed there. But I have spoken to a few guys about I actually spoke to Tim the other day about it. I told him to do his leg sessions occluded. I offered him a few. I've got some occlusion bands that are the inflatable ones, like the blood pressure cuffs.
Yeah.
And they're fucking unbelievable. But I've done a lot of occlusion training in the past, and it's something I actually really like. So, I don't know if you've got the motivation, you can to do it. It's fucking painful.
Yeah, I've got some basic, your cheap 20 quid occlusion or BFR bands off of Amazon.
Yeah.
Is it worth getting and invest a bit more in getting those inflatable ones?
I think so, because obviously I've seen the elastic ones, and I think if they're elastic, they will just stretch. They're not gonna I used to use leg wraps, and then you just take all the stretch out of it. You want something that's almost like when you're trying to do it, you need a tourniquet type thing. You don't need something that, if you say you're using your arm, or as you contract your legs, it just stretches with your legs, because then I think all the pressure will probably stay sort of quite superficial. I don't know whether you will get tight enough, or if it's moving around. I don't know whether you can. But those ones, you just this Velcro, you wrap them around, and then it's got pressure on it, so you can always. It's actually got a gauge on it.
Yeah.
And you look stupid, blowing your fucking leg by plugging it. But it doesn't take too long to use. And I do think it, like I say, it is the most painful training method I've ever used. But I also think it's fair. I had a lot of quad injuries in the past, little things that stopped me training for 6 or 7 weeks. This is when I used to do the logbook, and you get injured, and it's fucking hell, I'm not going to be back to that weight again for 7 weeks. So, but just doing occlusion training has helped maintain size.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something I'd definitely consider using. That's what it's made for, is so you can actually stimulate, obviously, your fast twitch fibers with lower weights, injuries, or when you just don't have access to heavy weight. So it probably does suit this situation perfectly.
Yeah.
So if people can actually do it properly, and I've got some sort of set protocol to do it, and it's just a very, very painful rest pause set. It's just fucking awful.
Yeah.
Makes you want to kill yourself. But,
yeah. I've only used it once or twice with legs. Once or twice with legs, and it's a completely different ball game to training arms with the cushion bands. On the legs, oh my god.
Well, you're everything. They're nothing. It just literally cuts you off. We used to do 5 sets, all to failure with 45 seconds rest, and then we just aim. Set 1 would always be try and get 25 to 30 reps.
Yeah.
Go to failure, 45 seconds rest, and just keep going. And the numbers are just you do 25 reps, and set 2 you do 12. Then you do 8, 6, 6. And obviously you don't take the bands off at any point. And it's actually a relief getting back in to do the set, because that's the least painful part. The resting bit, where the blood just isn't leaving, and you just have that build of
that blood pool effect,
and it's just awful. That 45 seconds wait to go again is the worst bit. But I've done it with arms as well, and your arms, it's cool as fuck, your arms blow up, and they do get a crazy pump.
Yeah.
But I do definitely think it works. And it's something that I think you can use alongside any sort of training, really.
Yeah.
It's just that whole pump, cell swelling type sarcoplasmic growth that bodybuilders love.
Yeah. Okay, so
questions to finish off, or
do you want to get into that? What times? We've been going for almost 2 hours now, haven't we? So
2 parts though. Don't remember. Don't forget. So.
That'll be that's plenty.
Yes.
Do you want
Right.
to kick us off?
So, have you got any at first? Just while I'm looking.
Let's have a look on Instagram.
Right, I've got one. Not really to do with training, but right, I'll keep him anonymous because I'm not sure he'd like his name attached to the question.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he's very aware of
Oh no.
PED use and things like that. But the question is simply testosterone, best way to increase it. I don't know if it means super physiologically or naturally or what.
Oh, jab it. It's the easiest way.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want me to say to that. That's how I'd do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, over my short time of lifting and being involved in bodybuilding, I'm yet to see a effective natural method of just naturally increasing your base testosterone. I just think, on the whole, from what I've seen, it's just not worth the effort.
That's weird. I mean, naturally, it's a spike anyway. It's a hormone that just sort of spikes all the time. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Does it really matter? Just like, I don't know. Get angry, but like this, people get angry, don't they? Almost have a fight before you start training, but don't have the fight.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, yeah, just if you want more tests, take more tests. Other than that, I don't think there's any real like ways to trick your body into producing anymore. I'm sure there'll be someone who tells me that the vegan diet will increase it or some bullshit, but I don't think there's anything out there you can take, eat, or thing like that that's gonna affect your testosterone levels that it actually matters in terms of building muscle. Whether you're gonna see like a change.
Yeah, I mean, just the act of training alone will increase testosterone. So I think as a best bet, just train. Just do that. Just lift some heavy weight if you can.
All right.
Cool.
Right, next question. Which training session was more difficult, training with Anth Bales or training with Milos?
I ain't training with Milos.
Have you not?
No.
Okay. Well, that's that question. What was it like training with? Because we're going to have Anth on this weekend, so it would be a nice little pre having.
Well, just tell him I said in then. No, every time Amp fucks me up all the time.
Yeah.
I don't expect anything else, to be honest. I've trained with Amp a lot of times. Yeah, like every session we've done. Yeah, I think I've trained everything with him. Yeah, every time we've gone up, I've always been in a position where I'm either. Well, I think every time I've trained, like recently, I've been getting closer and closer to shows, and he always says, "Oh, you're 6 weeks out. We can still train hard." And I think I went once. "Oh, we're 3 weeks out. You can still train hard." "Oh, we're 10 days out." Yeah, even if I went a day out.
Yeah.
I think I trained with John Hodson at 2 days out once.
Okay.
That was a fucking hard session. Back. Obviously, he's very much in that mold of Dorian, Amp.
Yeah.
I've trained with Dorian. That was hard. They're all. Yeah. You see, thing is, that's how I train, and I'll never, even when I'm alone, I will always push.
Yeah.
So I think for me to ever go and experience, it would have to be different. It would have to be something different that my body wasn't used to for me to, because there's no doubt that like every single session, but I'm used to going to that point of, like, don't get me wrong, like when you're there, you will always try and step it up a little bit, because you always will. But it's not something that was foreign to me in terms of, but like, if I went to train with Milos, that would be the worst thing I've ever done, because it's so far out of like what I normally do. Because I've done the whole giant sets thing before, and it's horrendous. And just that mixture of actually needing to be fit as well, and just everything, and just going Like,
Yeah.
I think if you're doing something that, they all train very similar to, like, sort of similar to me anyway, the ones that I have trained with. So it's nothing too different. But I think doing something that was like totally, like, different, that's where you sort of out of your comfort zone. I think they're the ones that, like, they're all brutal sessions, but there's sometimes it's the brutal you know and the brutal you don't know. The one, obviously, the one you don't know is going to be fucking awful.
Yeah.
But every time I've trained with Ant, they've always had a good session, and
Yeah, excited to have him on.
It's going to be good. We've had to rearrange a few times, but finally we've got the date down for that.
And figured it out. Yeah. So what the questions I've got was obviously with how we're training at the moment, does doing high rep till failure just have a place in the gym as well as outside the gym?
Yeah, I believe it does. Like I said, like my sort of belief at the minute is sort of effective reps, and those last 5 are your effective reps.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, do you do a 50 rep set to get 5 effective reps, or do you a 12 rep set to get your 5 effective reps?
Yeah.
And plus, when the goal is, let's say, muscular failure or technical failure, you need some lungs to get to 50 on certain things. Right? There's a lot that can give out. Also, your mind. And you can be the most hardcore trainer in the world, but to always have to do, like, if someone says, right, I want you to do 50 rep leg press to failure, and you got to do it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Well, you got to do it once. Like, it's I think it's a place you can sort of go to and get there. And when the weight is like that light, and in terms of like muscle growth, when it comes about from sort of like mechanical tension.
Yeah.
Mechanical tension will come when, in terms of like effectiveness, it'll be at its highest, obviously, when you've got weight that's moving slowly, but you're trying to move it fast.
Yeah.
And you're fatigued. So you can still create the same amount of mechanical tension on a very high rep set.
Yeah.
But it just takes fucking ages to get to that point. So I think, will it serve a purpose? Possibly.
Yeah.
Do you need it? I don't think so.
Okay.
Like, when people say, "Oh, get strong across all rep ranges," in terms of height, like building muscle, I don't think it's. I think there's a reason that most people they've always stuck around that 12 rep, that magic sort of 10 rep number for a reason. It's almost like the perfect balance between building muscle and building muscle safely. Like, you start going a bit lower, you get a bit dangerous. You start going higher, it's just, there's a lot of wasted reps, let's say.
Yeah. You still end up at the same point, but you have to do 4 more reps.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Or you have to do another 45 reps. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so if you try and I'm trying to squeeze as many effective reps into this session as possible. Well, I've just had to do 150 reps to get 15. Like, the ratio just doesn't. If you still we still want to be efficient when we're building muscle. Like, it's a lot of effort to go through for them 15 reps. Whereas, and it will take a lot of time. And I think you're just best off just sticking. Just if you want to take some. Even when people go to, I see all these people, they're doing 20 rep sets, but they're not 20 rep sets.
Yeah.
They're 10 rep sets with a Widowmaker.
Yeah.
Like when people are doing it, people are just resting just to get another rep, and resting to get another rep. It's not a true 20 rep piston style perfect reps that they fail at 20. Yeah. Like, so I think when you do it, that's why these 20 rep sets that people are doing are they are really sort of 10 to 12 rep sets.
Yeah.
And they're just tagging extra reps on. at the
Yeah,
end.
Yeah.
Or resting beforehand, like I said, with that little power bar analogy. Just letting it fill back up just to like get to a certain number when you could have actually done the job at rep 10. But it took you an extra 10 reps because you almost, the next rep that was going to be an effective rep, you almost rested so much that it was no longer an effective rep. So I think yes, the high reps, if you're forced to do them in your garden, do them. But I don't necessarily think that they
translate into the gym.
No, like if you want to do them, I think you can still get a muscle building effect from them.
Yeah.
So maybe if you are injured, where you don't want to be handling too much weight, there's a chance that you could do it and fail around 25, 30 reps.
Yeah.
If you don't have to, try and sort of stick to that sort of 10 round 6 to 12 reps is where you pretty much want to be all the time building muscle.
Yeah.
And then
beyond that, we're getting into the realm of CV fitness.
Yeah, maybe like biceps are a touch higher, or things like that. You can go to like your 15s and stuff, but I think
Perfect.
Another question?
What's that?
You got another one?
I got one last one. It's nothing to do with training. It's another drug question.
Excellent.
Bear with me. Right. Right, I can't be asked for that because we pretty much answered it already. It's just the impact of anabolics on recovery from training. So
that
is mostly what it is, isn't it?
Pretty much. He's answered his own question.
Yeah.
So no, but I've got one question before we wrap up.
Yeah, go on.
So obviously, we asked this last week with Louis. It's a nice light-hearted question. But if you could have a 3-course meal right now, what would it
be? Okay, yeah.
Right.
Start the main dessert.
Well, I'm not a massive sweet fan. So okay. I think I'd actually swap out the dessert.
Right.
Yeah.
No main.
Two main.
No, because no matter, like, people actually, like, they do take the piss. Like, even my family, like, no matter where we go, if there's a prawn cocktail on the menu, I'm having it. Yeah. So I'll have a prawn cocktail. But there's also a place called The Ranch. It's like an American bar grill.
Nice.
Just down the road from us. And they do nachos there. When they first opened, they do like barbecue nachos, and it's unbelievable. Barbecue sauce, right? Because I hate anything. I hate anything sort of like spicy Mexican, anything. All like the guacamole and the salsa and all that. Like, it's not for me. So no matter where you go, when you get nachos, that's what you get. So I would never have. But here they did their own twist, and it was just like, it was nachos with the cheese, barbecue pulled pork, and just like a bit load of barbecue sauce all over it. It's unbelievable. Yeah. And then they took it off the menu, and I turned up there and I complained.
Yeah.
Well, every time I go, they make me them. And it's sort of a bit of a running joke between friends that, like, it's not on the menu, but when I go, they actually know I'm coming, and
they make the effort to do it.
So it will be, I will have them. I mean, they are like a meal.
Yeah.
It's a massive dish, so I'll have them second. And then third, for the main, I would probably have spaghetti bolognese and garlic bread.
Oh.
And the wife's got to make it.
Yeah, these are pretty good choices compared to the shit show last week.
Oh God, yeah. If the listeners haven't listened to the previous episode, even if you skip to the end, just tag on for the last 20 minutes and you'll be pissing yourself. It's really bad. So
do you know what? I'm sticking to my guns with the sticky toffee pudding. If I was going,
what about the meringue?
I've changed my mind. I'm not having meringue. I'm not having
meringue.
It's a bit boring. It is a bit boring.
If I was going to have a pudding, it would be something like, I like hot and cold, so I'd like warm chocolate fudge cake with ice cream.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm thinking.
I do enjoy the combination of hot and cold.
What about nice warm cake with cold custard?
Oh, fuck.
Fucking hell!
It's so dumb. It makes no sense.
Down then.
Why would you have cold custard?
Tastes better.
It does. Cold custard like congeals and it gets like
man.
On it.
It's like cold rice pudding, man. Straight out the can. It's amazing.
It's disgusting.
If you look right, if the world was ending, you'd eat it.
Yeah, if it was the last bloody meal,
and you'd fucking enjoy it.
There's nothing else I could eat. Yeah, I'd have it, but I'm not happy about it.
Well, I'm done. Okay, we've got one last question.
It's food
related. It's from KT. Don't know if you like them. Cream of rice versus oats.
It's actually a discussion I've been having recently with people. Believe it or not, obviously everyone's going mad for everyone's bringing out new flavors of cream of rice.
Yeah,
I just know it's like eating fucking sand. Like, I just don't understand why people enjoy it. Like, baby rice is great.
Yeah.
So, and like cream of rice came out, everyone thought brilliant. I don't have to spend £2 on a meal every time I want baby rice. And no, every time I've eaten, I'm like, have I made this wrong? But it is like eating gravel. It's just gritty, and no matter. I mean, I got the Cardiff Sports Nutrition one because the flavors sound nice, and I had the salted caramel. And it was fucking awful.
Yeah.
And I'm actually taking. I think I've got 4 tubs in the cupboard. I'm actually taking them today to give them to Lewis because he fucking loves them. And everyone says, "Oh no, it's nice when it's mixed with your protein." Like that's when it sort of comes into its own. I think on its own, it tastes a bit grit. The texture's shit, and it's also tastes quite chemically. So maybe when mixed with protein, it takes the edge off. But no, at the minute I have oats every morning, and I have a little bit of Truvia in there, and that's it. I just have them plain, just like
raw.
Raw. Yeah, I fell out of love for a few months with oats because I was having it a lot, and it just started to bloat me out a lot because I was.
Yeah, I remember your massive pre-contest oat bowls. They're like that fucking big.
Oh yeah, it was. I can't do. I had a bit of time where I was like, I'm sick of this. That's why I do Rice Krispies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's because there's a point on prep where oats becomes this magical food that tastes so good, but in reality,
I don't get why.
It's pretty fucking boring. But it is that thing that like, oh, this is. There's loads of things on prep that happen that I can't wait to get a massive bowl of this in the off season, and the reality is just so far from it. Like your little 30-gram bowl of oats that you're trying to make, eating with a baby spoon to try and make it last forever, and you're like, I can't wait until I've got 100 grams in here or 150 grams.
Yeah.
And then when that happens in off season, and you sat there like, and it's almost feel like I'm about to choke on it or gag.
Yeah.
So many, like that's when you end up going off these because the food goes through the roof, and you just like, I'm not doing this anymore.
I just can't do it. Yeah, can't do it.
Yes, that's why I think a lot of foods do that in the off season.
Yeah. So what would you be? What would you consider a good replacement for that then? If you in the off season instead of having oats,
pasta. If you digest wheat very well, if you're looking pasta, rice. My carb sources, I have rice, oats, and bread. I guess it depends how things. It depends how things sit in it, I guess.
Yeah.
But even like if you're a millionaire, baby rice. But even if you get like brown rice, or it's actually really nice if you get jasmine rice and make it, and then put it in a blender. That literally turned into baby rice. It's like, and then you can either put it in the fridge, and it'll be like a pudding or whatever. But that literally just goes like if you've got like a good blender, just blending rice up, and it does actually taste nice.
Yeah.
Cooked rice or raw?
Raw.
Yeah, like cooked.
Do you go cooked? I go raw. I go raw, and then I just make it up.
What do you mean? If raw rice is dry,
it's dry. You blend it dry.
Yeah.
And then you make it up in the pot.
Yeah, so you're not eating it raw.
Oh no, I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not eating it raw. But I'm blending it raw. I'm blending it raw.
Yeah, but if you blend it raw, surely it's going to still stay a bit like particles.
Well, no, like when
He's not just going to turn to dust.
Pestle and mortar, it's fucking grinding away.
it's not that bad. It breaks up pretty well. It's not
But
like
if you cook it first, so what's absorbed all the water, it literally turned into you could drink it.
that's fine. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go.
I had grits before, so like ground corn. No thanks.
I like grits. I like
No.
grits.
It's like eating grit. I get where the name comes from.
When I was in America, I used to actually have that now and again. As long as you have it, you can't just have it on its own though. I think it's great.
No, I put my whey and stuff in there, and no.
For me, it would be along with chicken and I don't know, sweet potato or something.
Well, it's savoury grits.
Yeah, I wouldn't have grits as like a non-savoury dish personally.
Yeah, no.
All right.
I'm easy with my carbs. Like everything sort of sits well with me.
It's the best. That's all you can ask for, especially when you're trying to eat volume.
Yeah, like bread sits fine, oats fine, rice fine. I'll just do things like it depends how long it takes things to make. Like if you've got to boiling pasta for 10 minutes, like that's a lot of time.
Yeah. yeah.
Just microwaving some rice is easy.
Yeah. Have you got a rice cooker, Matt?
I have got a rice cooker, but I don't use it. I just use the microwavable bags in a minute.
Is it worth buying a rice cooker?
You can have mine if you want, Jimmy.
Use yours.
Yeah, to be honest, I used to like the rice cooker. It makes the rice like you'll never get jasmine rice to taste as nice as it does when it comes out of a rice cooker.
Oh, better, yeah.
It is a different level. Like it's a sticky, like
Japanese sushi kind of rice.
I might have to make a small investment.
You can just set it on a timer or to stay warm all day and just sort of dig it in.
Yeah.
You can get one from Tesco's or whatever for like 15, 20 quid. So.
Yeah, I saw some cheap ones and I was looking, I was like, is it worth getting? Do I want something else?
Saves a load of time as well. If you got rice like 3 times a day, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
You're only having it once a day. Just ring up Uncle Ben. So happy days.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to leave it there, yeah.
Yeah, should we leave it there, guys?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So thank you, Matt, for coming on again. I'm sure everyone will enjoy this one just as much as the last one. This has been a good one. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back again next time with another guest, Ant Bales. And yeah, see you then, guys. Cheers.
All the best. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.